Hey, everybody. So excited to share this with you guys today. Some of you I know and we have talked, some of you I don't. I love to see in the chat which of you kind of in your areas are specializing or doing land, and which of you it's kind of an addition to your regular business. Love it. And are you guys members of the division? I'd also love to know that because we're going to talk a little bit about that today too. All right. So last year, I'll give you a little backstory on why this course exists. Last year, I noticed something that I think was missing in part of the connection of education with maps and the division. And there was staggering statistics on where the land sales were taking place in the US, even within the KW markets and outside of it. But it was everywhere that was unseen. I mean, it was totally untapped. And the division directors are going to be joining us shortly, so I want them to give you guys the statistics on it. But what we saw was land was being missed almost entirely. There are agents that you guys are specializing in, mostly in the areas that are outside of Atlanta, which is surprising. The Pacific, oh, hang on one second. Sorry, Graham, Ben and Jason are trying to get in, I think. Sorry, y'all. One second. Jules, if you can help Ben and Jason with the link. Thanks. All right. So this course is designed for agents that you are either adjacent to land because it is right outside of your doorstep. Most metropolitan areas are within 20 minutes of land transactions. So that means a lot of the major cities and having a land right outside. And a lot of agents, if you're specializing in land already, this course is designed to make you more strategic. I'm going to drop the syllabus in the chat for you guys so we can see that. I know a lot of you we have talked about this course. So, what we want to do is help you start to be thinking strategically about land and about how it shows up in your market and what tools are available to you, how to get higher level thinking, market opportunity analysis, and think about your niche positioning. I love the strategy of it because I think it's something that if it is outside and you are missing it, it can greatly increase your business. How many of you are adjacent to land like 20 minutes? And as a residential agent, you are in it. If you guys have questions too as I'm going along, just raise your hand because this is kind of an informal session. Yes, you guys have unlimited land in most people think that it's farm and ranch. And I think that's part of the thing that gets um, within the division kind of a misnomer is that it's all farm and ranch. And when I looked at the statistics for the US, it's actually a lot of development land, so transitional, it's a lot of solar. Timber is actually one of the largest, and it is everywhere. So we built this course in order to help you become more strategic. And I wanted to give you a simple framework to think about how land first shows up in your market. What are some of the things that you guys experience in your businesses as to why land is working and why it's not working in your market? Go ahead and just drop it in the chat. Julie, yes, large mountain acreage. A lot of agents that I find, even if you guys are specializing in it, there's a disconnect on how to increase. It- Agents tend to hit a ceiling. It's tough to develop in the mountains. So maybe understanding some of the highest and best use, a better understanding of possible sellers. So take a look at the syllabus. I want to kind of walk you guys through that. Jules dropped that in the chat. So what I want to go through is, first of all, it's identifying who you are adjacent to that business. So in this 8-week course, we're going to go through each week kind of a different component of what that looks like. So in week 1, we're going to look and see the land opportunity. So where it shows up in your market. Hi, Ben. Sorry, I just saw you jumped in there.
Hey, y'all. Sorry about that. We were on a listing appointment, ran long, so apologize for being late.
No worries. So I was just going over. kind of the 8 weeks, what we're going to be covering and how we're going to start to be strategic. But I didn't have
Yeah.
the statistics right in front of me, and I was waiting for you guys to do that. So if you can tell everybody a little bit
Mhm.
about the different statistics of and how it shows up in our market.
What specifically? Which ones?
The ones about the agents and the
Like,
sales. Yeah,
oh
like
yeah,
how we were missing it.
yeah. So yeah, we're missing it because I mean, there's 1.5 million realtors in the country today, and realistically, there's probably 15 to 20,000 land agents across the country. And so what we wanted to do was, Kristen's idea was to come up with this class and really help agents understand that the land market, as a lot of us know, is an untapped market overall. I mean, last year, Katie landed over 7,000 transactions, and no telling how many, and it's hard to find out the entire amount of transactions throughout the country, but there is so much missed opportunity in the land space, as we all know, because we're in it, that we all are successful in it. But there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to get into it, and um, there's an opportunity right now across the country, this untapped market, if you will, for people to dive into the land market, but knowing how to do it. And that's really what this class is going to be. Is I mean, because there's, as we all know, I mean, land's a lot different than residential, and so if we can through this class teach the fundamentals of the land market to help people become better equipped to sell land, then overall it raises all of our ships across KW Land, across the Keller Williams platform, to all become better agents overall. So there's an opportunity here, and I'm glad all of you are on the call, and hope everyone joins the 8 week session because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think Gary for so long said buy dirt, and that was like the messaging for quite some time. And then I think we kind of lose sight of it and we lose sight of the opportunity. I think also it's hard to sometimes understand, even in residential, how to position yourself. How do you want to build your business, what the opportunities are, and how to do that. So we're going to go through those 8 weeks. Week one, kind of seeing the opportunity in your market, going through what the five kind of pillars are. Then week two, going through the land fundamentals, how to apply the models, and how to understand kind of what the valuation drivers are. And then we're going to talk about lead generation for land. How do you build your top 25 land opportunity list? What the niches are, and how to go into creative opportunity strategies around them. We're going to talk about strategic relationships, how to build those, due diligence, evaluation, and marketing yourself, becoming the land expert. Because I think some of those strategic things are missed in even residential agents' business. But this is for agents. If you guys are new and wanting to break in, we're going to give you all those frameworks. And then for agents, if you're in land already, this is going to give you a chance to slow down and audit your business. Also, raise the bar on what you're doing, because I can guarantee when you take these deep dives on your business, this doesn't just apply to land, it applies everywhere. A lot of these models, if we're missing them, we have a really good opportunity right now to take advantage of that. Ben, what else
And
do
to
you want
add
to
on to
add?
that, Kristen, yeah, I was going to say add on to that. I think what's really cool about this 8 week course is the first time KW Land's ever done something like this. And so, we have trainings each month, as a lot of y'all are on, and they're great trainings, and they've been phenomenal. But this is really going to be a longer, in-depth training for all land agents. And so it's a deal where, we're going to get on these calls every week and talk, but then really dive deeper into the land industry and understanding just the fundamentals, and understanding that even if you're selling it forever, there's going to be things you're going to learn from it, because we're all going to be doing it together. And so it's not going to be a deal where we're sitting here just preaching the entire time. There's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of informative information being sent out and talked about. But also, let's get into the weeds, because all these classes we're doing are great. But this class is really going to allow us to get into the weeds of the land market. All of us grow together. And if there's problems we have, individually on this call, we can help solve them throughout the course of this class, which I'm excited about. It kind of ties us all together for an
Yeah.
8 week period, to grow deeper.
Yeah, we also designed the course in a linear fashion so that each week will build upon itself. So at the end of it, you should have a 90-day plan to really go and take these things from concept and from theory into practice. And then each week, we're going to do case studies. We're going to look at different parts of your businesses so that you can start to build that out. And so you can be working on it as you're going through it. What questions do you guys have? You can feel free to raise your hand, come off mute, drop them in the chat.
Hello there, Kristen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Let me take my video off. Okay, I'm with you guys. So, I'm primarily a residential agent, and I just sold 50 acres on the North Shore. I don't know. It was a nice little paycheck. It went for about 700,000, but it's not something I do every day. And I'm really wondering if this is something that I should, being so far away from me, because that transaction was about an hour outside of New Orleans. Um, if it's worthwhile for me to try to go after more of that business, being that it might be a couple hour ride, becomes a different animal
Yeah,
than
I
just
would
something
say,
that's in my backyard. Because
yeah,
the
and
only land in
David,
my backyard is infill lots that we need to tear down houses, to build houses on because we don't have any land. Yeah.
yeah, and I think sometimes I remember Ben, we had a conversation about this. Sometimes land has you driving. Sometimes it's outside of your 20-minute zone. But
Hmm.
David, I know you personally and I know your
Yep.
market. There is opportunity. I think what a lot of agents aren't thinking about is that there is not someone who is specializing in most of your markets. And you may be the
Right.
specialist, some of you on this call, but it's a great source for referrals. So for you to be positioning yourself as the expert, even nationally within these areas that you guys are in, that is awesome. There definitely is opportunity near you. And I think what one of the things we'll cover in this course is how to spot that opportunity. Because I had talked to an agent that I coach actually a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about a parcel of land specifically in the mountains. And she said there's only, one or two uses for this. And we were identifying actually like five additional uses based on what it was around. So I think sometimes we're missing it. So David, even in your market, yeah, you'll have a little bit of a drive for some of that business, but it is definitely untapped.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Good to see you, David.
I'm always going to learn something, so I think I'll be on board with
Go ahead,
this
Andrew.
plan.
Love it.
Hey
Andrew, go
guys.
ahead.
Hey, good to see you all. Hey Ben. So quick question. Met Ben a bunch of times. He's always
What's up, Andrew?
incredibly generous. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry. So what I was going to ask is, I've chatted with Ben a couple times. He's in KW land. He's always incredibly generous with his time, but I never want to overdo the professional friendship. Are we going to have the opportunity, besides the weekly calls, maybe do like a group Facebook?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Kristen, go ahead, Kristen, on that.
Yes, we have a group Facebook that's set up for the course. So we will be adding people through that prior to the course and probably a little bit through next week. Additionally, I am setting up on some of the
How
Fridays.
to
Some,
find the sellers? That's what I'm looking for.
oh, sorry, David, you broke up for a second. Repeat after the Facebook group, the second half of your question.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So Facebook group is a way for us to collaborate. And then my focus and what I'm looking for, because I have land listing clients, I have developer clients, but I would like to get more. How do we find the sellers? That's my big, how do we do that?
Yeah, we are going to dive into that. Ben, do you want to, I'll go back to the Facebook group in case you missed that part. We do have a Facebook group. And additionally, on Fridays, we will be setting up some additional tool training with the tech tools that are in the land division and some of the opportunities on how to research. But Ben, do you want to specifically address
Yeah.
the information and how we're going to cover sellers?
Yeah. So we're definitely going to get into that because we're going to really talk about your brand and how to go find your people and get really strategic on that. And so it's identifying your target audience. We're going to go into how to do that. What are ways to go out and market to that target audience? Because as you know, Andrew, in the land space, it is different. We're not going to go door knock a neighborhood. And so for Jason and I, we've over the past 10 years, like we've I don't think we've mastered it, but we've gotten pretty good at it on how to go out and find our people and really create a niche inside the land market. And so one of the classes we're going to go a deep dive into that. And then really it's either take what we're saying and do it, or take what we're saying as a principle or like an idea and and customize it to your own business. But the concept and the philosophy is going to be the same, whether it's recreational land, development land, whatever it is. The concept's the same. So we're going to talk about that concept a lot.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to really
I
deep
appreciate it.
dive
Because
into
yeah, because
breaking
Andrew,
down.
yeah, Andrew, that question you asked, we talk to agents across the country every single week for the last 3 years of doing this. That is the number one question we get is how do you go find your people? How do you find the clients in the land space? So we will dive deep into that. And if we don't dive deep enough, it may be a whole other deal where we do an entire class on that because we're very passionate about it.
Okay. Well, if you can guarantee that I'll be able to get a new baseball hat, then I'm in. Okay.
Done. We're about to
Thank
order some
you.
more. Yeah.
The best hat ever is the Land Division hat. Mine is actually down. I'm at the beach right now and it's down at the cabana. Thanks, Andrew. What other questions do y'all have? I wish that I could do this justice in 30 minutes for what 8 weeks will bring, because we really did build something that goes deep, specifically into like, how do you build it? Or how do you increase what you're already creating? And we go into some deep things around the marketing, around how to develop your niches, strategic relationships, a lot of the principles, even around some of the KW models to give you a good backbone and foundation for what you're building. What questions do you guys have that are unanswered right now?
So, Kristen, what I hear you saying is that I can tweak this towards, I don't know, maybe I look for land on the North Shore and help those type of people, which I've done in the past, or maybe I, change it and just use some of the things I'm learning today, maybe not specifically towards land, but how I can help implement that into other sources of business.
Yeah, 100%. This is not unique to land, even though the things that we will give you guys, the strategies are unique to land. The principles apply to all business. So it will give you guys a really good foundation in order to implement into other areas of your business, not just the land piece, but we are specifically focused on that. Jason, did you have something to add here? I see you.
Um, we what was the question?
We were talking about how the principles that we're going to cover are going to cover business, not just land, even though the strategies we're giving are around land.
Yeah, so really just like for us is branding. Look at, like, we always think, okay, we need to know our target audience. What are we doing daily? What's our routine look like daily, weekly, and monthly? And being disciplined to 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 that to drive our business. Who are we talking to? We're going to get real specific on our target audience, where we go, what are all of our social media looks like, what our email campaigns look like, what do our conversations sound like. um it matters so much on your branding daily, and people I think overlook that. And it doesn't matter where you live geographically. We're going to help you find your with a lot of different companies, and that's how we have grown our business at Ranchman Properties. And so we're super excited to help you. This will help you even in the residential space, not only land, but we have some really good concepts that have worked for us, and we're excited to share that with y'all.
Yeah, we're going to break down each week different components of the business. And then I see in the chat, Andrew, you're talking about the negotiations and kind of the basics of the deals. We are definitely going to go through the timeline of a deal and talk about the stages of it.
So we were late for this meeting because we had we were on a listing appointment, and the seller was like, hey, my land's worth 15,000 an acre, and so we got in this whole thing of, okay, well, just because you looked at this 40-acre tract down the road, we're 287 acres. And it's just like you have to be prepared and do your homework and before you go on these listing appointments, right? So we're going to help you prepare for that because you get out in the real world and go on these listing appointments. You've got to be prepared to share with them your marketing, show them that you've done your homework, show them the map on land ID, show them that you are the guys and gals that they need to rely on to sell their property.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the tools, you guys, because even I find that people, when they're telling me they're doing land, they're using maybe a little more outdated methods. They're using MLS, which you're missing all of it. So we're going to go through the different tools available, the tools through the division, what those are like, and how to utilize those at the highest. Any other questions, you guys? We have a few minutes left. I want to make sure we are answering them for you.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead.
Hey, I'm this is Preston Mayfield. I met some of you at family reunion
Yeah,
and
hey, Preston.
excited to have recently joined KW Land. I actually had a closing today that was an expired land listing. It was on the market for, I don't know, 580 days. So I don't want them all to take that long, but I have had some success in that area. Do y'all have templates?
Yeah, we're absolutely going to go through expires as a strategy because it is a great one. A lot of the markets, the expires is a great place to look because the residential agent has gotten it and not known what to do with it. Awesome. Julie, did you have something?
I was actually just typing it, but I'll expand on it. So I am on a team, and there are 7 other members of my team. So I'm hoping to kind of set myself apart from all of the other team members. We're all residential, a couple are commercial, but nobody really niches down to land. And my husband is he's also a real estate agent on the team, and he's got a grading business and he does septic tanks, so he's very well versed in land. How do we set ourselves apart from the team while staying on the team, or do we try to work our way off the team to become the niche land experts? I don't know if I'm coming across the way I'm trying to. But like I've got my shirts branded because I remember from family reunion, the big thing was make sure everyone always sees your brand and
Mhm.
recognize you. So I've done that, but I feel a little guilty not promoting the team. So how do
Mm.
I incorporate all of that?
That might be a good because whether there I think there's a lot of variables that go into like whether you stay on a team or off a team. So that's
Right.
probably like call me and I can coach you through some of
That's what
those
I was
variables.
in my
That might
chat. I was
be,
like, maybe more of a
yeah.
coaching question, but
It might be more of a coaching question, and y'all, I'm here for that. We'll put my info in the chat so that you guys have it. Please contact me. But I think one of the things to think about, in the branding of yourself, and I do coach some agents that are on teams who do specialize in land specifically on their team in different markets, and I think that becomes a discussion with the team on how that happens. But you can set up different landing pages, you can set up different lead funnels. There's ways to kind of separate and bring it together. So I think the decision is probably more about where you want to go with it. This course, I think, though, will help you work through that, all of you guys, because the first week we go into is kind of who am I in my business and how am I going to position myself with the market around me? How do I want to be seen? Who are my avatars? What type of work do I do? I think answering some of those questions and going through the course is going to help you identify even through the process kind of where you want to be. And you'll probably would in the first couple weeks be able to flesh that out. So if not, call me and we can sidebar it. Ben, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I was going to say, Julie, that's a longer answer to a question you've asked. So, we would love to talk to you about that as well, because that's going to be an hour long conversation. because the questions you asked, there's like 10 questions I'd have to ask to even understand why you're asking the questions, which is, you know what I'm saying? And so, but you're asking the right questions. You're asking the right questions. It's now let's dig deep into it and figure out what to do.
Yeah, I think this course,
But it's a good way of thinking.
yeah, I think a lot of people, even as markets shift, um, people aren't sure how to position themselves or where they want to go or how to specialize, or even if you hit spaces in your business of transition and growth, it's sometimes how do I identify that next step? And this course is going to go through that. So I think if you are someone who's looking for a little bit of clarity in your business and kind of how is that adjacent to your life, I built it in. We built it in. So we're going to go through a lot of those things and how to position yourself and strategically where you want to grow. Hopefully that answers your question.
Hey, and another really cool thing, I know we're just kind of rambling out a little, or at least I am, but I think one thing cool about this course too is like it ties us together. And so, like, even through the Facebook page, and once we get done with the trainings, it's almost like a little community. We've gone through this together. And so when things come up, like we should be helping each other. That's the culture of Keller Williams. And so we want to make sure that we're available. Like, let's all help each other out on stuff like that. Maybe someone's gone through that before, and so that's the cool thing about it is our relationships grow deeper through this training. It's going to go far beyond 8 weeks, and so that's what's cool about it.
Yeah, we're so excited about this because it gives us an opportunity to also understand what's happening in each of your businesses. Like I think of this course as like we're beta testing it. Like we want to build so much more education. So we built this in order to create a foundation, also to help us understand what do you guys need and how do we springboard this for you. Andrew, question?
Yeah, quick question, please. On signing up, I saw at the bottom of one of the emails, it had whatever the price was for individual agent. Then there was another thing that said something about market center pricing. So like I'm in Houston, John Henry Bartholomew's up at KW Professionals. He told me something about the market center. Is it
Yes.
something where I sign up directly and it's just the whole thing's online, or should I talk to them in professionals about going through them, or how is
Yeah,
it set
John
up?
Henry. Yeah, John Henry actually is signing the Market Center up. So if you guys are with John Henry, just reach out to him. He actually emailed me today, so
Okay.
he'll get that set up, and then you'll have your own login. So yeah, for any of you that have market centers that want to sign up, there is a Market Center package, and then there's an individual package. But the courses
Okay.
are hosted online. We'll record them every week. If you guys miss it, you'll still have course content. We have a workbook built in. There is homework. It's up to you whether you do it or not. And then we'll be breaking it down in Facebook due during the week. So, but if
So if
you,
I,
yeah,
if,
John Henry's got it.
okay, but I'm not, he's 40 minutes away. I'm not driving professionals every Tuesday for the course.
No, yeah, you guys will have a login individually
Okay, gotcha.
for that. So you guys can join in
Okay.
from home or your office.
Okay, cool. All right, appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah,
The course,
awesome.
Kristen, is 1 hour.
1 hour. Yep, every Tuesday, and I'm gonna get the time wrong, y'all.
It says 11 Central Time is what
Yep.
it says.
Yes, on Tuesdays. And then
Okay.
the Fridays, I'll probably, be holding some open office hours and things on Fridays for you. And we'll release those as we're kind of going through the course. Awesome. Any other questions? I'm so glad that you guys joined us today. Sorry it was a little hectic getting started. We were having tech issues. I'm on an island right now too, so I was having a little bit
It's
of
tough
tech
living.
problems.
It's tough living, Kristen. Let me ask you a
Yeah,
question. So this it does start next Tuesday, correct? That's our
correct.
first date. Okay. Hard date. Okay.
Yes,
Got it.
next Tuesday it starts. Yep.
Okay.
If you have anybody who joins after Tuesday, they can still join. They'll just have to catch up that week.
And the easiest way to sign up, let's go for our close question here. Come on. We're in the closing business.
Yeah, the link is in the chat. There's a
Oh, is it?
registration link
Okay.
right under my
Bingo.
contact information. Yep, we just
Okay.
posted it again. You guys can sign up right through that link.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Ben, you want to add anything else?
Oh, I'm excited. Well, Jason and I both are excited. We're excited to see everybody next week. Hope everybody joins the course, and the first course that MAPS has ever done for land. So we're excited about it.
So exciting. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your
Thank you,
time.
Kristen.
Please reach out if you guys have any questions. We're excited to see you and have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Bye,
Appreciate it.
guys.
thanks, y'all.
See you.
Bye.